Good morning. Good morning. We're going to start a bit of a vlog or a blog or whatever we call them. We're in the Matrix, guys. There's no illusion here. Okay? They've entrusted our lives with the support of a mile-a-minute operating system that casts whatever grid on a flex time real timer that we enter into. I'm grateful for life. We're the last living souls in the universe. We're royalty. We're expensive. We're the last hairs of this technology. But do you know something? Is when we go through a war over just being alive, depending on where we're born into, fast food areas of life, or just trying to make easy money on the internet, and this operating system or whoever's in charge has turned around and they're basically declaring war against the kids that were born in capitalist areas of life. And that would be okay if they assisted them or gave them other alternatives of methods of life instead of just trying to send them to hell, which is basically what they're trying to do. Nobody should have to work a job in a facade area of the Matrix. Let's be assured that there are real areas of the Matrix, such as Google maintenance or even the Bitcoin operating systems. These are real jobs, and they're important for upkeep and for defrag and whatever else goes on inside the main servers that we're all attached to. But make no mistake, when a kid is just born into the Matrix and they're forced to work facade jobs that are haunting to them because the operating system becomes the people that are cast in their face, okay? And make no mistake, sooner or later, you will find out that it's actually trying to speak to you indirectly through these people. So it's not schizophrenia, okay? It's an operating system that basically has your head like Gulliver's Travels, and it's speaking to you through the pedestrians, and it's trying to say something, okay? For me, I'm in the year 2016. It's May the 5th. And what the problem is that it's got a problem with economy and consumption. So when it takes form of people, it takes form of dying people, haggard people, fat people. It doesn't like where I am. I'm in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, the year 2016, May the 5th. Look at me. I'm pretty aged myself. I have to be honest with you. If I didn't have beer, I'd be a dead man. They try and kill us for what we need to cope with these days. These days are long. I'm 29 years old in real time. I was born September 1st, 1986. But I'm sure I'm 1,000 years in the real-time counter from the back end of things, because I know that it takes a lot of time. I've gone traveling. I've gone to Thailand. I've lived in Australia. These things take time when they set it up. So it's you and your operating system. And, they hate us. It eventually hates us because we're going so fast. It'll set up a shopping mall for us, and we'll run in and just grab one thing and run out. It'll do an entire shopping plaza for us when it comes to food and drink, expiry dates, all of that. It has to load all those things when we enter into these areas of life, and we just run in and buy a loaf of bread and run out. And it doesn't know the difference between a rock concert and a workout facility for fitness or a grocery store. It doesn't know the difference between a rock concert and a grocery store. So it is gratitude. It hates us for how fast we're going through things. And it also is keeping us financial hostage. Because here's something. I am an entrepreneur. I've been studying. I know why my surrogate father would try and preach to me that I need to own a business at a very young age. And that's because we're here for financial hostages to these programs. If you don't start a business, you end up working slave labor. Even $50 an hour doesn't cut it. You'll never own a house. You'll be doing work you don't want to do. And the operating system takes form of the people going around your head, and you're at the mercy of this facade reality. And it's haunting, and it's bullying. It's everything that you hate. And the birds, even the birds start sounding like knives. The cars, it even wants you to hear the garbage truck every time it comes in. It literally, your eyes are a screen. I'm sorry to take you down the rabbit hole, but we have to congregate together because our screen is our canvas. Okay? And we have to have control over where we have our screens. Okay? Let's just say, for instance, my computer. If I put a screensaver of a horror movie, let's just say it's not going to be a very happy computer. If I have a screensaver of an exotic tropical island, the computer gets happy. It's the same as with us. We need to be in complete control of our lives and the canvas that we bring our heads into. We need to have complete control over our days and our weeks and our months so we can get on proper routines. It takes upwards of 1 to 10 years to get on a proper routine with diet, exercise, recycling program. It takes all this time, and that's assuming that our strength, our will, is capable of holding on with all this resistance that we're getting. It's hard to go to the fitness facility and listen to music if the computer system is sending you pictures of torment or threatening you. I've been called from the sidelines of this operating system. It'll heckle me and say, ha ha ha, silly mortal. It'll say enough, okay? It'll say enough to me to not make me want to go outside. So I'm stuck at home and I'm in a closet, okay? I can only afford a closet. Okay? And this is not fair because we're stuck in these closets at the mercy of their fake doctors, fake police officers. I got in an argument with my mother, who is a programmed person. She's not my real-time mother, okay? Whoever raised me would have been chopped up as far as time. It's impossible for two people to go at the same time. All you got to do is move your head, and all of a sudden nobody can move in sync with another person. So that makes you wonder, who are we talking to if we can't move in sync with people? It's technically impossible. It's mathematically impossible. Our millisecond is so minute when it comes to actions like driving or going to moving around in the city grid, or see, here's the operating system calling me. It just stacks all these problems up against us and uses money as our only way out of these madnesses, okay? So here, if you understand what I'm saying, you should then you're going to feel me right away, and we're going to go through this together, because I believe that we are all connected to a main server, and we all have the ability to communicate with each other. And I believe that there's a difference here between the people that are alive and the people that are pretending to be alive, that are product of the programs, okay? And basically, I want to put together the people that are going through the same thing as me, and I want to make you rich, okay? I want to give you complete control over your life so you can buy the house, and we can work together to be on a routine that gets us healthy and fit and gets this operating system off our back. Because the Lord creators, whoever created this, made it so that they hate us for eating junk food, and we get fat really quickly. I don't even really want to imagine how their calorie system works, because I feel like we're burning in sulfur if we eat 10,000 calories. Like it's some sort of charging mathematical equation versus how much the person eats versus how much they get eaten, or how heavy they are when they're walking around in the Matrix. I know this is real rabbit hole stuff. I'm sorry. But do you know how old I am? I was one of the first. You are too. Okay? You have all of this incarnation inside of you, and it's trying to tell you all these things in the first 30 years of your life so that you're prepared for this mayhem of bully basically trying to make us a perfect person. But the thing is that we can't do that because we need our own gyms, we need our own pools, we need our own gardens, we need heaven so we can basically get ourselves in the proper position to improve ourselves, so this operating system doesn't bully us, so we don't find ourselves on the wrong side of the operating system, so you don't get obese. I mean, it's very easy for people to get obese with this kind of food being pushed in their face all day long and these long hours. They need breakfast, lunch, and dinner, not because it keeps them sane. It's like sleep. Because the day is so long, if they don't have snacks or breakfast, lunch, and dinner, even cigarettes, heck, if you watch The Matrix, look at the Oracle. She's smoking cigarettes like a chimney because this system is hard on our heads, okay? Everybody's fat, okay? Let's be honest here. This is ridiculous. There's so much noise pollution in these areas of life, hundreds of sources of sound. I can even count thousands of sources of sound, and they're wondering why we don't read books. They're saying, silly mortals, they don't read books. Excuse me, we're under the stress of hell with thousands of sources of sound in our ears. Our heads are breaking, okay? These were supposed to be built for immortal life. Basically, even an average life expectancy, which is 60, 70, 80 years old, that's a long time. Nobody wants to live longer than that, especially if you have a long, fruitful life. But we should be allowed that. Nobody should die technical deaths before their time. They should be allowed their average life expectancy simply to make amends with their souls. I have a very dark soul. I have a very tormented soul because I'm reincarnated misery. I'm pretty sure that probably 4 out of the last 5 of my lives have ended up in miserable circumstance. Jail, hospital, death, slavery, suicide. It's miserable. We're miserable. We deserve to be living in mansions so we can make amends with our souls and live an average life expectancy without our heads breaking so we can do what the system wants us to do. And that's become a provable life form, that we're in good health, we're in, proper physical physique, we are eating properly, salad only, all these things that it judges us on, not to watch porno, don't drink alcohol too much, don't do drugs, all these things that it would degrade us for. We have to be in a position that we can do that. And that only happens in a mansion, okay? And you're talking to somebody who figured out how to make that money. I have websites of the highest caliber of financial intake, and they're all being filtered by the CIA or whoever is in charge of the internet servers and has our jobs as specific files completely sectioned off. So then that way I had a business that made $20,000 a month. All of a sudden it got intercepted. Now I make $300 a week, and it basically gives me a problem for every dollar that I make. It's their financial police are making it impossible for entrepreneurs to make money on the internet anymore. And basically, we're at the mercy of working day jobs in these facade, noise-polluted, bullying operating systems. I have to just tell you guys, I'm sorry if my speech is all over the place. This is, I'm doing this on basically a freestyle. I'm trying to get my head and to tell you what we're going through, and we need to collaborate, and we need to get in contact with each other, and we need to take control of the financial Bitcoin, and we need to coach each other into mansions where we can live peacefully in harmony and make amends with our soul on average life expectancy. Nobody wants immortal, okay? Average life expectancy of 60, 70 years, where we have a love of our life or whatever else. Don't get me started on the relationships with this operating system. You're talking to high intel people here that are basically programmed to it's just hard. It's hard to have a wife. It's hard to have a friend. Relationships are difficult, but I have some theories and I have some strategies that can make it a little bit more comfortable for you, because we don't want to live in solitary confinement. Anyways, I'm going to keep this video to 15 minutes, and I basically just want to start getting a response, and we're going to do more specific helper messages, such as how do we get control of the financial systems? How do we get honesty from the doctors and the police officers instead of complete dishonesty? How do we get honesty out of the matrix? Because right now we do not want to work day jobs, okay, in your facades. We do not want to be homeless. We don't want to be sitting there begging for money with thousands of sources of sounds and thousands of birds as the operating system, pretending to be the people, comes in and heckles you, because it does heckle you. It has communication abilities through the pedestrians. That's not schizophrenia. It's true. And it rubs us the wrong way every time. So let's get in contact with each other. Let's help each other. And let's start taking down the red tape here, and let's get in control of our lives. God bless.